there's a bite. Maybe. Yeah, I got one. Oh, we got the first bite of the day. We got our first bite in 19-degree weather. It's not a giant, but it's a fish. I let him swallow it too. I was so cold. Holy smokes. Sorry, buddy. We'll get that out of there in just a second. We got a bite. Oh. All right. Not a giant, but we got one. I'd say anytime you can catch a fish in 19-degree weather, that's good. So just a little update. I came straight up to this discharge and I have fished, well, I got a jerkbait out, I got a hair jig, I got a couple big swim baits. What else I got? A little grub. I fished a lot right up in there. I didn't get a bite. I think that's where a lot of things happen on these power plant lakes, but you know, these power plant lakes are kind of out of my wheelhouse. We don't have a lot of tournaments on these things, but I picked up the old Magnum hitworm and a shaky head, and I caught one, like, pretty quick. I hadn't been throwing this thing but about 10 casts, so we got a bite. We got a bite. That's better than sitting at the house and wishing I was fishing in 19-degree weather. That warmed me up a bunch. It's amazing what a bass will do to you. It like gets your blood flowing. I like it. I wasn't for sure if that was a bite. You would think it'd be an aggressive bite, you know. Heck, right here. Heck, I tried even a jerk shad up there, you know, a fluke style bait. I tried that too. I put it back up. I was like, it just doesn't seem right to throw that in 19-degree weather. But I got to get my brain wrapped around. I may be in 19-degree weather, but these bass are in 70-degree weather because that's what the water temperature is here at this discharge. So that's just kind of different. I mean, heck, it's top water. There's so many different things that a person could do. The water's really clear though. Like, I'm shocked how clear it is. I think I can see 4 or 5 feet down. I can't quite tell yet. We got clouds and the sun's not up, but I feel like the water's super clear. That was so cool. I saw that fish come up on my active target and I was like, I stopped it. I was fixing to reel it in and he came up on my active target and I caught him. Just an exciting bite, man. I don't know what else to say. That's a topwater bite in 19-degree weather. I've got this prop bait tied on from when I was in Florida a couple weeks ago, and they'll hit it here in Oklahoma. That was so cool. I literally saw that fish on my active target, and then I seen it come halfway up, and then it stopped, and I twisted it one more time, and he ate it. That's cool. That's so cool. We might have figured something out. And let me say, I saw that sucker in 4 feet of water. That's how deep I am right there. I can literally say that is the first topwater bass I have ever caught with ice in every guide, ice in my reels, with gloves on. That's crazy. I can't even reel my reel because it keeps freezing up. May not be bad.
I love it. That is so crazy to me to be able to catch topwater fish, and I've got ice in my guides. Like, I have to keep dipping my rod. And literally from a bait that I had tied on in Florida a couple weeks ago. Oh gosh, buddy, I'm sorry. Hold still, hold still, hold still, hold still. Oh. We got a mess going on. Now I got my jacket. I got my gloves. I got a bass. Yeah, I got it. I mean, with the bait I had tied on from Florida, I've never thrown a prop bait in this part of the country ever. It looks like I better start throwing one. Oh yeah. Topwater fish in January with ice and gloves on. Thanks, bud. Now my gloves are soaked. Look at all this fish slime everywhere. You can't hold on to him with gloves. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Golly. I went to put my rod in the water to get the ice off of it, and one ate it. It's like I went to put my rod in the water, and it just like it was somebody was trying to take it away from me. Oh, it's a nice one too. Look at that one. Oh, he ate it, didn't he? Can you believe it, guys? I know there's probably a lot bigger fish in this lake doing something else. But man, if I can catch them on a topwater, and then catch them on a topwater with 19 degrees and ice in my guides, I just got to do it because I've never done it before. I fished for a long time. Awesome. Thank you, girl. That's so awesome. Sweet. Oh, that water's warm. It's not too warm. Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right, so let's do a little quick power stop breakdown just to show you guys what we figured out here so far this morning. You know, we caught that first fish, obviously on that stand-up shaky head, but everything else has come on that right there. It's just a spin rocket that Berkeley makes. It's got propellers, it's blue, silver, and orange belly. So you go here and I've got a leader. I just got a little short, 12-inch leader right here of fluorocarbon. The reason I put this fluorocarbon on here, this braid is so supple or soft that, when you jerk it, then the bait comes forward, the braid would get in that front propeller. But then I just got on a 6'9" medium rod. This is probably 50-pound braid right here. Great bait, in Florida. I've never thrown it in the Midwest till today. All right, topwaters. I just got ice everywhere. It's just packed in my reel. Look at my guides right here. Like that's the problem I'm having. Like each cast, look at this guide right here. It's just completely packed. I went to bend over and get that ice out of my guides because it gets so hard to reel in. It actually locks my reel up, and I'm like this, and my rod takes off like that, and that's when I had that bite. Oh yeah, all right. Let's catch another one. It's so frozen, I can't reel. I mean, it is like frozen. Oh. All right. I can't cast it very far either. That's so cool. How can you not be all smiles like cold water? Well, it's not cold water, but it's really cold and catching them on a topwater. That's pretty cool. The biggest thing with throwing a prop bait like this is to let it sit. All those guys down in Florida, they'll tell you, you throw it out there, you let all the circles go away, you twitch it once or twice, kind of a real sharp twitch, make that thing to spit a little bit, and then you let all the circles go away again. I mean, that's just the way you're supposed to throw it. For me, I struggle with that because you guys know me, I like to go fast, but that last bite right there is a prime example. It was sitting, I'm trying to get the ice, all out of my guides, and bam, that's when he ate it. So, keep that in mind, you know, let that thing pause. That's the correct way to throw it. The longer you can let it sit, they always say the bigger the bass is, it's gonna bite it. Oh, that's fun. That is so much fun. Don't. Catching fish peeing in January. Oh, thanks, buddy. I like it, guys. I just like it. I like it. Other than the gloves, and I'm snagging everything. I about got him unhooked. All right. One thing to keep in mind throwing this bait, it is a calm water bait. It's not something you want to throw with chop. You know, I tried a buzz bait earlier because it's kind of choppy over there. Throw this thing where it's really calm. That's when it shines. Don't try to throw it, you know, if you got any kind of chop on the water. I just got, like, you know, where I'm throwing this right now, it's just a big spawning flat. You know, places that it's just a big spawning flat. It's like 4 or 5 foot deep, and I just think all these fish, you know, are just males in here guarding fry. You know, the other places that it throw, you know, you throw it obviously down in Florida, you throw it, you know, on the outside of all those grass, you know, any kind of cattail clumps. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, you know, here you can't actually see the beds, or you can't, I can see targets under the water like stumps, and that's what I'm trying to target. But, you know, try to throw it at a target. You know, in Florida, you know, you've got those cattail clumps, you got grass clumps, you got all those things you can throw it at, and you try to work it like in a 5 foot space. You know, it's not a bait like a buzz bait you throw out and you work it all the way back. You know, for me, it's a bait that you throw at a specific target, and then you work it like 5 or 6 feet, reel it in, throw it to the next one. You know, because you got to work it so slow in order to get the bite. You just can't make a long cast and bring it all the way back to the boat. So now I'm gonna look for another stump out there. I got a stump right there. I can see it on my active target. A big mistake people can make throwing a prop bait like this is just overworking it. You know, it's not a, you know, don't bring it too far. When I'm trying to jerk it, I'm trying to move it 6 to 8 inches, you know, just a very small space. You know, I'm trying to keep it right over that bed or that stump or that target that I'm throwing at. So I don't want to move it very far. You just want to move it enough to make those props spin and stop, spin and stop. Don't overwork it. A lot of people I see try to rip that thing and really put too much action into it. Let the props and the bait do the work for you. Just little bitty twitches right there in your strike zone where you're trying to throw it. I feel like it's gotten so much brighter out. I feel like I need to change colors. You know, this is a low light bait. You know, I feel like this bait is like early in the morning, late in the evening, you know, cloudy conditions, you know, the sun's really starting to brighten up. I'm gonna see if I can extend the bite on it just a little bit by maybe just, you know, getting a little more opaque of a color. You know, all the time we talk about solid colors on cloudy days and see-through colors on sunny days. So I'm hoping maybe I got an opaque one in here. We're just gonna have to see. I don't know if I do or not. I really didn't plan on throwing that thing. Well, I didn't find the color I was looking for, but I found one that's got transparent blades. They make one that's a see-through bluegill that I really wanted, but we're gonna try this one here to see if we can extend the bite on this just a little bit today.
Just gonna tie a trilene knot because I don't want to have to retie my leader, and my leader's gotten pretty short. Trilene knot's about the knot that I can tie the easiest with the least amount of line waste. So I'm just gonna tie it. And fingers are a little cold. That could be an issue. All right. Let's just try a different color. Not quite as much flash. With the sun out, the water's really, really clear. Now that I'm starting to see a little bit, I mean, it's super clear. Everything's still iced up. Gosh dang it. Can't reel it in because it's iced up so bad. There we go. Well, that's a good sign. Got a bite on the first cast of that new color. There's one. And a bite on my second cast with the new color. Isn't that crazy? Just changing the color. I've probably fished 30 minutes and hadn't had a bite since that sun come out. We've made 2 casts with this new color. I haven't moved the boat. And looky there, look what we caught. Yes, yes, yes. See the difference? It's just matte, it's just it's a softer color once that sun come out. That's a good chunky one. Thanks, buddy. I love it. Catching them on a top water, in the cold, still got ice, all on my guides. And a prop bait. This is a bait you got to have in your arsenal, and use this as a bait in your arsenal when fish are spawning, because that's what's happening here. I am talking about it being really cold, and yes, it's cold, everything above the water, but below the water, it's the spawn. Like, it's the time of the year fish are spawning right here because there's a power plant lake and the water's so warm. See if there's a big mama right there with you. All right. Hey, one thing to remember about, throwing a prop bait, Devil's Horse, this is actually Spin Rocket, is it's a clear water technique. I feel like, it's a bait that's real quiet, real subtle. So it's not one you're going to want to throw if you got really muddy water. You could probably catch some fish on it, but there's just better baits if you got muddy water. Today we got, I don't know, 5 or 6 foot of visibility. The sun really hadn't got up a bunch yet, but it's a clear water deal. It's not a bait that you're gonna tie on. Either just better baits in muddy water, so keep that in mind. The ice, the ice, the ice. Every time I stop the reel, I gotta get the ice out of my guides because I can't reel it up. With that said, I'm out here just on a big flat, 5, 6, 7 feet of water. These fish are spawning in that depth and they're coming up to get that bait. It's just why I've got to let it sit so long to get a bite. When I get to working it too fast, I don't get any bites at all. It's one of those things you just got to slow yourself down. The deeper you're trying to draw those bass from. Here I'm trying to draw them from fairly deep water to get them to come up. So I cannot work that bait very fast. You can get away with working it a little faster if you're fishing, that 2 to 3 foot of water. But let the fish tell you. Don't let me tell you. You let the fish tell you on any given day. So far today, I hadn't caught any monsters, but it doesn't mean this bait won't. One time there's a tournament down in Florida and Terry Scroggins, he caught a 12 pounder
on a bait like this, which is just amazing. You imagine catching a 12 pounder on a topwater, but don't just think it catches small ones, because it is a bait that will catch everything in the vicinity where you're throwing it. I'd like to catch me a 12 pounder today. Oh, that's a good one. I love it. I just love it. I love it. Catching them on a topwater. Yes, sirree. How awesome is that? Guys, that's the deal, man. That's a prop bait. Get you a prop bait the next time you go out and the fish are spawning garden fry in and around the spawn, you know, and you got real calm conditions. This is a bait that you can get those fish to come up, to bite, you know, and it's one of those times, a lot of times it's the only bait they'll bite, but a prop bait, man, check it out, put it in your arsenal. It works, I promise you. Sweet.